to Handsome Reviews with the handsome guy, your host, Jamiel. I know it's been a week and you're expecting a new review, but this week I'm going to do something a little different. Truth is, I'm having a time crunch because tonight, that is correct, the same day I posted this video is the same day I recorded it. Tonight I'm going to go see The Batman, the brand new movie starring Robert Pattinson, directed by Matt Reeves. So, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm very excited, and that's why I didn't record a new video. But I still wanted to do something, to kind of continue our channel, continue our chat. So today I just want to talk a little bit about The Batman and why I'm so excited about it. So I haven't seen the movie yet, I kind of seen like some general reviews, nothing too spoilery because I don't want to ruin it so I can enjoy the movie tonight. But I still wanted to talk about my main interest of why I've been following this movie. So a while back, Batman v Superman came out, Justice League came out. I thought Ben Affleck was really great as Batman, so I was having fun. And then they announced the Batman movie starring Ben Affleck. And basically all his famous rogue characters are going to be a lot older. And supposedly it was going to be like this kind of investigative story where they have a whole bunch of villains appearing in it, just looking older and stuff. So I was excited about that idea. And then out of nowhere, they announced that Ben Affleck wasn't directing the movie anymore, which was like the main reason why everyone was so excited, because he did movies such as Argo. He directed that. And he directed some other movies that made some money and people liked, and he was nominated for Oscars and stuff. So it was an exciting time, for Ben Affleck, as he was successfully being the Batman now. And then they announced that he left the project as a director, and they brought in Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves, I already have a history with him when it comes to his movies because he made Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and he also made War for the Planet of the Apes, which were two of my favorite movies when it comes to Planet of the Apes movies. All three of them, Rise, Dawn, and War, are some of the best movies I've seen. And so then when I found out that he was directing it, I got really excited. Mostly because I started hearing interviews from him. And he was saying Batman is a really interesting character. He's someone that he always wanted to bring to life, And then when he was doing it, he was like, I have to think of this kind of in a very different genre. Because if I'm going to come into this world, I want to, give it something different. And he's like, why don't we, focus on the aspect of him being the world's greatest detective? Because to be honest, a lot of the Batman movies, he doesn't really seem like he investigates a lot, or like they don't have a main focus on that. And you can get a lot of good drama out of like investigations. That's when, slowly they make a really smart story where the audience, us, feel like we're following along Batman's trail. He becomes this more costume wearing Sherlock Holmes, if you will. Sherlock already has a costume, but Batman's costume is even more kind of flamboyant. It's more out there. And so then that's what I kind of pictured when he said that. And that's what I'm hoping to see tonight. A very interesting action, of course, action heavy, but also investigative heavy where, he's trying to figure things out where it doesn't seem like it's all spelled out for us. Instead, like little by little, if you pay attention, the story more unravels and all these characters that are used for a purpose. And that makes the movie more rewarding. Where you're kind of following along and you're like, oh, I knew this could happen or that. And then out of nowhere, it's confirmed. So it's pretty cool. I heard that the movie is going to be like around 3 hours long. So I just hope that I don't feel the time that the movie is, because sometimes that's what happens when you have a movie that's like 3 hours long. It kind of feels like it's going on forever. As much as I love to live in these worlds of fantasy, like superheroes and all that kind of stuff, for me, what would make it better is just the feeling of the world becoming very real and realistic, in sense of like I can see myself living in that world, but also in the sense that the characters act more like people instead of someone who just wrote 100 different characters, So that's what I'm hoping for in the story. Robert Pattinson, he was known for being a vampire, and now he just kind of pivoted over to being the Batman. I just wanted to make that joke at least once, and I did it. But mostly he's known for making like these smaller projects where they really display his acting ability. He was in Tenet, which was a big one, but that was like the first big project he's done in a while, compared to his smaller films like The Lighthouse, which got a lot of attention. He made a movie called Good Time with a couple of famous directors. So, you see that he's slowly kind of building up a fan base of his own, apart from the Twilight movies, which, to be honest, I did not like. But, I tried to like it by watching it a couple of times, but it was just so fake and it really took me out of the story, and there was barely any story to begin with. But that's a different review for a different video. But the point is that from then, he has tried to kind of redeem himself as an actor, as someone worth watching on the big screen. and now he's kind of making his big debut back into the mainstream films with such a big character, you know? And so I'm really excited to see his take on it. He's really good at accents. He's really good at making characters that feel a little different than what he probably is like in real life. I think that the most exciting part for me is just that we're going back to a younger Bruce Wayne, one where it was described that he feels kind of very angsty and very angry. And so that's why if you look at the videos, the trailers for the movie, Batman's Bruce Wayne, he kind of looks like he's a little bit of a crazy guy. You know, he's all over the place, which makes sense because, you know, in the beginning of a story or the beginning of a character before they become who they are, a lot of times they were amateurs. And so I kind of like that idea of getting to see how Batman became Batman in that terms, because a lot of times when they describe Bruce Wayne is the costume. Batman is who he really is. And so I want to see him build that persona. And then towards the end, maybe he becomes like this kind of cool guy that Bruce Wayne is known for in the comics and in the animated movies. And even in the Christian Bale movies, which, you know, Christian Bale convincingly played a playboy character. Does a good job in those movies as well. You know, I actually recently rewatched Dark Knight, and I will say, it really does hold up. Amazing movie. Because when I was thinking about that movie recently, I was kind of like, oh, maybe it's not that good or a little overhyped. But then I watched it, and I was like, damn, Heath Ledger, Christian Bale, Aaron Eckhart, who played Two-Face, even Gary Oldman as Commissioner Gordon were really great standout, and they really had a lot of story there. So that's what I'm hoping with this new movie, where Catwoman gets a lot of time because in the trailer she gets a lot of focus. We see a little bit of Penguin and how he becomes who he is. Hopefully that's kind of like part of his arc. And then Bruce Wayne, and also I will say on the Riddler, the actor, his name is not coming to my mind. But I will say that he also did another movie called Swiss Army Man. And that movie was amazing. One of my favorite movies of all time that I probably watched twice because it's so different and so odd. But the actor who plays the Riddler did a really great job in that movie. And so I'm really hoping and excited to kind of see him shine as the Riddler, as they give us a more serial killer based version of him. But of course, hopefully they keep that signature, you know, those clues, because that's really what's going to help make the movie what the director described it as, this mystery. So yeah, so I just wanted to kind of give you like a quick video update on, like, you know, like what's happening. So tonight I'm going to watch the Batman, and next Thursday I'm going to make sure to have that review done for you guys. And you guys are going to hear my thoughts. I'm going to try not to go into any spoilers because I want you guys to check it out yourselves as I give you my final opinion. Thank you guys for watching. And don't forget, give this video a like, subscribe, because I'm coming back. And I'm going to make sure that I give you guys quality content. Or the most important thing for me is to create content that's interesting for myself, because I know that as a person who really spends a lot of time on YouTube, I want to create content for everyone. So everyone gets something interesting every week. They get to be entertained. And we get to talk about something cool that not a lot of people talk about, which are movies. I mean, you know, it is mainstream, but I mean in terms of like, on a lot of times the conversations of movies are always kind of like, oh, it's good, it's bad, watch it. It's so bad, don't watch it. It's so bad, you gotta watch it, you know? I want to give you guys a little bit of more meat when I review these stories, when I help you guys decide whether it's worth watching or not, you know? So thank you again for standing by with me, for watching these videos, and I will see you next Thursday. Thanks again, guys. Peace.